Oh boy, we are getting closer to our best 23 for the season. Teams have just been announced. Let's talk about it. So before we talk about it, you'll notice that I've got like a new little stand here. I had to get rid of my signed 2023 uh frame. We wouldn't have seen it in the last couple of videos just because I'm renting this place. I can't put anything in the wall and that is heavy as hell. So I'm just need some ideas. If you have any ideas of what I should put on there, let me know. At the moment it's just got all of my different hats that I've got for merch. So they're still available. You're free to buy them. We'll be doing a merch run soon because I've got a couple of jumpers that have just been sold as well. But if you have any ideas of what I should put up there, let me know and I'll chuck them up there. But let's talk about these selections because there has been a couple of surprises and the boys are back, let me tell you. So we'll quickly go through Brisbane's ones first. Not too, insane. Connor McKenna comes out. He's injured. They're running halfback, so that will kind of help us a little bit. And Oscar McInerney is being managed, so they're ruckman. And in place is coming in is Bruce Reville. He's just their sort of midfielder. And Henry Smith for his first game of 2025. Played 4 games last year. He's a young ruckman, so he'll be working in tandem with Darcy Fort. So that's interesting to bring in a young ruckman. But then you look at it, and it kind of evens out. If we've got Darcy Cameron and then McStay, Long at times did it last week. My check memory, those guys chopping out as the second ruck because we don't have Cox playing. So it kind of evens itself out that they're bringing a young guy in. And I dare say he's probably going to maybe, push down back like kind of Darcy Cameron does because of all our tools. So keep an eye on Henry Smith. But all in all, you know, I don't think it's that prominent ins and outs besides maybe Oscar McInerney. I actually don't know how McKenna's gone this season, but there's still a bloody stacked side. Like I'm just looking at that side now. Like these two are grand final sides. Like this is, I still feel like this is a preview for the 2025 grand final. So now ins and outs. It was announced earlier today that Bobby Hill would make a return, and I was like, yes, amazing. He kicked 3 goals in the VFL. That's great that he's coming back. He didn't really need another game in the VFL because I thought he played pretty well. And then, like 20 minutes later, it's like Jordan De Goey is playing, and I was like, "What the?" Like I got the news while I was sitting in my car. I went to get a coffee, and I was sitting in my car. I go, "What the hell?" Just Jordan De Goey is coming back. I know in the presser, Craig McRae said this.
With Geordie, obviously it's been so many sort of false starts and you've built him up, tried to build him up again. Do you err on the side of caution, or do you feel like this time you've got him right?
I have lived in that space a little bit throughout the last few weeks. What's the best build? For having those two or just Geordie in particular at his absolute best when we need him. There may be a case where we might just have to accept that it might not be 100% for the rest of the year.
But, I thought he would get at least another game in the VFL. So that was really, really interesting. So I was like, okay, cool. So he played 70% in the VFL. I thought he looked good for in patches. So I thought it was interesting that he has gotten named in the squad. I dare say he will be the sub. It's going to be Bobby Hill or Jordan De Goey. I think Jordan De Goey is going to be the sub. That way they manage his minutes a little bit more. Has missed so much football. And Bobby Hill's only missed, 5 weeks. And you got to think with Bobby Hill's 5 weeks that he only missed those 5 weeks worth or 6 weeks worth of games. He was still training. He was still going about his business. Jordan De Goey is coming back or was coming back from injury. So it was Achilles. It was the concussion. It was the knee earlier this year. So it was a bunch of things. So I think managing his minutes as a sub. And I said this earlier. I don't mind Jordan De Goey as a super sub type. So interesting to see how they sort of play him. I still think that he gets played in the forward line for the majority. I know we've named Patrick Lipinski as a deep forward, but that's just so we can have Patrick Lipinski on the field. He's the one kicking it in. I want to see Jordan De Goey on the end of it because a forward line of Schultz, De Goey, Bowe, Jamie Elliott, and Hill is just that would send and that's just the small forwards, right? That would send any defense into a shambles. And then you add Membry, you add McStay, you add March. Like are you? Oh my god! Like that. What we've named here should be a premiership winning side. Besides, who have you got to come in? Howe, you got to come in. Bo McCreary comes straight in, and Billy Frampton. We'll talk about Billy Frampton in a second. But also coming back in is Scott Pendlebury. We knew this earlier on in the week. He just had a corky last week. Tom Morris broke the news that it was he was a laid out against Richmond. They've just managed him. That's fine. He comes back in. Now coming out of the side, Lachie Sullivan, we know injured his knee PCL. He'll be out for the season. Wishing Lachie the best. And omitted. So not even managed, but omitted. We've got Ed Allan and Tom Mitchell. Now I thought Frampton would come back in and Dean would come back out. But Tom Mitchell being omitted and not managed is really interesting, and Ed Allan being omitted and not managed is really interesting. I thought Tom Mitchell had a better game than Ned Long last week. 25 plus disposals. I think it was like 6 tackles, but I thought he was in the top 5 Collingwood players on the ground, if not top 3 Collingwood players on the ground last week against Richmond. So they're obviously persisting with Ned Long, which is fine. I thought this would be the perfect game to see if Ned Long and Tom Mitchell can work in the same team in a finals-like atmosphere. And I guess the coaches don't think that will happen. Will Tom Mitchell be the John Noble of 2025? And I don't mean because we're going to win the premiership. I'm not cocky like that. I'm just saying, John Noble got dropped on the eve of finals and didn't play any of the finals. Will Tom Mitchell be that hard luck story after, a year or more than a year out with his injury? Is he the hard luck story of 2025, even for one final or two guaranteed finals, you would think. So I feel pretty bad. It makes me feel pretty crappy, to be honest, seeing his name there as omitted, because Tom Mitchell is one of my favorite players. I love him. And, he's just gone on Channel 7. I think it's called Unfiltered with Hamish McLaughlin. And he's talking about, everything that he has had to overcome this year and last year only playing, a handful of games and everything that's gone on in his career and stuff, and how much he'd love to win another flag and all this stuff. And now seeing him omitted, it's just like, oh God, I just have this feeling in the pit of my stomach that if we do go on to win the 2025 grand final, if it will be without Tom Mitchell, because I just really thought that this was the alley-oop game, as in we set it up, finals like atmosphere, finals like game. Let's see what Ned Long and Tom Mitchell can do. They've gone with Ned Long. Now, I love Ned Long. Don't get me wrong. Love Ned Long. Love what he's been able to do this year. Just the one thing that I noticed last week, and I've been noticing creeping into his game a little bit, is just his execution going inside 50. Not shots at goal or anything, whatever. Collingwood players can't kick for goal. That's just a thing that happens. It's his execution going inside 50. There's about 3 or 4 times last week where no pressure on him. He just couldn't hit a target going inside 50. So if he can tune that up, perfect. And I know Tom Mitchell does that a little bit as well. But if Ned Long can tune that up, that would be perfect. And the last guy coming out is Ed Allan. So Ed Allan's been omitted. So I thought it would be Markov over Ed Allan. So they've obviously liked what Markov has done in the 15, 20 minutes that he's sort of been playing these last couple of weeks. Ed Allan, I was talking to some guys at training about Ed. I think I really like the way Ed goes about it. And at the start of the season, before any games were played, before any balls were bounced, I said that Ed Allan would be best 23 come the end of the home and away season. And I still believe that. The one knock that I have on Ed Allan, kind of like, with Ned Long, he's inside 50s. The one knock that I have on Ed Allan is just that he needs a little bit more mongrel in his game. Sometimes I see him not attack a contest how he should attack a contest, or not attack the ball how he should attack the ball. I see like half a second of hesitation. And, if that's me playing, I'm hesitating all the time. I would shit myself if I've seen a 100-kilo guy running towards me with his big muscle. I'd shoot myself 100%. But it's not me playing, right? These are professional footballers. That's just the one knock I have on him. I love his disposal rate. I love how he can get the ball. He's got good footy IQ. He's got a good kick. He can hit a target. Everything is right about his game. It's just that mongrel / just that hesitation. He has to take that hesitation out of his game and just attack every ball like it's his last time, because things like this happen. Now, we don't know why these players have been omitted. That's just what it's saying. So we're just making assumptions based on, as fans, what we've seen. But the coach could say, we love your attack on the ball. It's this XYZ. We're not privy to those conversations. Now, the most interesting one is the emergency. So Will Parker's the emergency, Ed Allan is an emergency, and Billy Frampton is an emergency, getting a second week in the VFL. I thought Frampton did okay in the VFL last week, albeit his first game back for 4 or 5 weeks after that injury, so we're still finding his feet. Did make a couple of mistakes, but I thought if he was fit and ready to go, he would come in for Dean. Obviously, they like Dean a little bit more than Frampton, and like for this game, and I think that comes down to Brisbane not having really super tall forwards. Like if this was like the game against Adelaide or the game against Hawthorn, where they're probably going to play 3 or 4 tall forwards, Frampton does come in. Jeremy Howe obviously will come in as well. Fingers crossed. So that's probably their thinking. Maybe give Billy Frampton just one more run in the VFL, get more kilometers into his legs. I've been using that phrase for all year. Get more kilometers into his legs, like I'm a bloody physiotherapist. So yeah, look, I don't hate it. I don't love it. But I don't hate it. I can understand. I can understand why. And I'm actually really pleased to see Charlie Dean get another go against a premiership side in the Brisbane Lions. That's amazing for him. And I thought, we rightfully or wrongfully, not how to go at him. What am I trying to say? We rightfully or wrongfully, picked apart his game over the last couple of weeks. He went back and worked on it. Last week, I thought was his best game for the club or thereabouts. I thought he played really well. And you need to play these games against the lower sides like the Tigers to get your confidence up and say, yeah, I am here. I can do this. Let's see what he looks like against this Brisbane Lions side. But if he's the guy that's, we think he will be and we know he can be, does he keep Billy Frampton out of the lineup? So it's, going to be really interesting. I am so excited for this game. You have no idea. I'll be wearing my retro jersey for retro round, even though I absolutely hate the retro jumper. I'm sorry. Like I am a sucker. I am brainwashed for buying Collingwood merchandise, but I don't like the retro jumper. I think it looks cool, but I just don't like it. I actually wanted to do a little bit of a deep dive into the jumper and dissect it and stuff like that. But I'm like, oh, will people watch that or not? So let me know if you would want to watch a video like that. If I get a couple of love on that idea, I'll put up a 8-10 minute video about it or something. Because I have a lot to say about that jumper, let me tell you, and retro round itself, let me tell you. But until then, let me know your thoughts on the squad. Who are you bringing in and who are you bringing out for this game just in general? Do you like the changes? Let me know down below. But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shackers, I'll swoop you later.